All right, let's take it to the cornerback position. And again, just about everybody's back.
Yeah, this one, it feels like, I don't know what they did. I mean, you have the NIL now, so that helps a ton. But Florida State, you can have the NIL, but I think with the culture change and what Norvell's been able to do in that locker room has been huge. And also the staff that he's laid around, and also bringing in Patrick Surtain Sr., Florida State having their new defensive backs coach, moving on from Marcus Woodson. Florida State has got to be better in this room, in my opinion, going into 2023. I think there was some lackluster moments. We expected quite a bit more from Amarion Cooper after having some really nice flashes last year. He finishes off the season, pretty well, but there's got to be more consistency there. Florida State's got to figure out what they want to do with Amarion Cooper. They're going to test some waters and move him around at the safety position, from what I've been told. We'll see how that ends up working out. We've seen that happen quite a bit with a lot of Florida State defensive backs, including a guy like Travis Jay, who has not entered the transfer portal, a guy that's been around the program for quite a long while, came in as one of the highly touted defensive backs, players in his class coming from Madison County. We're going to see where Travis Jay goes here, but this is the same thing with what they wanted to do with Amarion Cooper. They might put him back at the safety position because, we'll talk about safeties in a little bit, but what does Amarion Cooper do here? So I'm interested to watch that in the spring and the competition that he's going to bring no matter where he goes, because there is talent there, and he's been dealing with injuries from what we've been told from the staff too this last year. So we'll see. And I think too, there's some names that I think need to get a little bit more respect. At least number one, I really like Renardo Green. I think another year at the cornerback position being solidified there as CB1 is going to help. But then on the other side, Fentrell Cypress is going to have to earn that spot. But early things, things I'm hearing, an impressive player. It doesn't really matter to me until we get pads on, and then the whispers can turn into something more than that. But Fentrell Cypress, if you just want to go back to film and what he did at Virginia, what you're getting in the product there. And Florida State was able to land one of the top transfers in the country coming with Cypress. And that's where if you want to get better at the cornerback position, that's where you start. And I kind of think of this in the area where Florida State last year needed to go heavily and push for that wide receiver room to be revamped. And I think Fentrell Cypress on the defensive side is going to be a big help in the cornerback room. I really like having Cypress. You've got Renardo Green on the other side, and then you have Azari Thomas, who is a youngin', played a good amount of snaps this last year, made some plays too. He's going to be one that's going to be hard to get off the field. He's going to play a lot more than he did this last season. So you feel good in what you kind of want to do there in that room, because the competition will be heavy in the spring, going into this offseason, going into the fall. And that's all you want. You want iron that sharpens iron on the outside with your cornerbacks. And I think that's going to be good. And I'm interested to see what they want to do with Travis Jay. Are they going to move him at safety? Are they going to try him at cornerback? I've heard a lot of good things, that he's really bought into this program. He's shown to be a leader. And I think it's going to be one that I'm not going to say that he's a sleeper guy or anything, but I'm going to keep an eye on him to see, can he show us why he was this 5-star product? And, we saw Damari Tate, who was at that realm, who was getting heavily recruited by Alabama. He ends up entering the transfer portal. I think Travis Jay has a better focus. And I think there was just some things this last season where he didn't get to see the field because of certain things. I think something's setting up for maybe a comeback. And I'm excited to cover that. I'm hoping that to be the case, because I just like hearing that a guy is one to jump in and be a leader in that role. So those are the corner positions. Do you want to go through kind of the nickel area, guys?
Absolutely.
In the slots? Greedy Vance was kind of a shocker to quite a bit of us. Didn't talk about him a ton. Mark definitely didn't talk about him a ton on the show when we were previewing going into this season. Transfer coming in. He comes in leading the interceptions for Florida State last year. Kind of probably just a film freak. He hasn't told us this or anything. Maybe I'll ask him this soon, but it seems like he just puts himself in the right position at the right times. And I'm excited about having Greedy Vance there next to Kevin Knowles, also kind of in that nickel area. Florida State's going to have a nice kind of group there with experience that they'll be able to bring back this season, and that they're going to need talent here, because Florida State and what they want to do defensively, that relies a lot on good coverage in these nickel positions. So I'm going to be watching these two guys once we get into spring camp on Monday. And those are your kind of significant guys to watch going from the outside to the inside.